Hello, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new, and welcome to the first weekly vlog of the year. This year that I'm going to switch up my reading vlogs a bit. Also, sorry if you can hear the construction in the background. Normally I have like a theme to my reading vlogs, and I'm still going to do those, but I also just want to incorporate some weekly vlogs that of course include what I'm reading, but they're not necessarily like a set TBR or a set theme. It's just kind of like the randomness that I'm reading. So that's what this vlog is going to be. This vlog, my goal is to finish up some series, kind of as like a start to the new year. Planning on doing this in December, but time just got away from me and it didn't happen. So I kind of want to make that like my first goal for the new year, and this first week in the new year is kind of wrap up the series. So that means that I'm going to be reading the Final Gambit by Jennifer Lynn Barnes and A Court of Silver Flames. These two I've been dying to get to, but like I said, time has just gotten away from me. So this is kind of the goal. The aim of this first week is to finish out these two series, although I'm pretty sure there's another one of these coming. I don't know if it's a prequel, if it's after the fact, if it's in between. I don't know. I just saw somewhere that there is going to be another book in the series. But anyways, regardless, finish it off for right now before I dive into any other series. So that's the aim, that's the goal, and let's just go ahead and dive into the vlog. Hello, it is Tuesday after Christmas, and Barnes & Noble is having a huge ass sale on their hardcover books. So I just drove 40 minutes to make sure that I could peruse the sale. It was yesterday and today. So we're gonna see what kind of damage we can do. I have a list of ones that I want to look at, and hopefully they have in stock. But like, I'm also just going to let the sale gods take me away and see what happens. So let's go ahead and go to Barnes & Noble. Just left. I spent probably an hour in there, maybe more. I did get some books. I did some good damage, but only spent 50 bucks, which is actually way less than I thought I was going to get, but they didn't have some of the ones that I wanted in stock, so that's okay. I got some ones that I wasn't expecting either, and that's the beauty of these sales, is you go in, you think you have a mission, and then it just falls apart. Those covers just really win, but that was just so fun. I needed that. Just like book shopping alone for an hour, my heart is full. So now I'm gonna go home, shower, and do all this, and then film a video actually. So yeah, let's drive home. And I wanted to show you what I got from the sale. So the two that I specifically went in there for were The Weight of Blood, because I read this very recently. I listened to it on audio and I loved it. Like, it shot up to the top 3 of my favorite books of 2022. I'm obsessed. It's so good. If you haven't read it, it's like a Carrie retelling, but in the modern day, and I say modern day because it takes place in 2014, but it's so good. So I wanted to have a copy. So I got this. I was very excited. I could not find this anywhere, and then I asked, and they had just gotten a shipment in, so she went and cut the box open, and got me one. Bless the Barnes & Noble employee for doing that for me. And then I also went in to get We Spread by Ian Reid. This has been at the top of everyone's favorite list for favorite book of 2022. I know it's probably going to be a heartbreaker. I understand that. This is considered like a horror, but from what I've heard, it's not really. It's horror in a different way, from like a different lens in terms of like memory loss and what happens when you get older and that kind of thing. So I have a feeling this is going to be a heartbreaker. It's going to be gut-wrenching, but I've heard it's incredible, and I love Ian Reid. I have read I'm Thinking of Ending Things and Foe and enjoyed them both, so I'm excited for this one. I did have a few others on my list, but they did not have them because, I mean, I was second day on the sale, and that there was so much out of stock. But as I was walking around, I decided to pick up Belladonna by Adeline Grace. This is a YA gothic horror, I believe, and that just sounds interesting. Also, I've seen this cover floating around and I was like, that's absolutely gorgeous. I need to blow dry this to get the sticker off. I tried, but it's not coming off. So I need to run the blow dryer over it because that sticker is bothering me. But anyways, I've heard nothing but incredible things about this book, and again, I just couldn't resist. And I feel like I want to do like a gothic kind of reading vlog, like a gothic horror or just gothic vibes in general reading vlog. So I figured I would get this. And then also along the lines, horror, I got Such Sharp Teeth by Rachel Harrison. I was going to also get Cackle, but the book cover was so destroyed. It was really unfortunate that we only had one copy and it was mangled. So I was like, I'm not, even though it's half off, I'm not spending money on that. But I did pick up Such Sharp Teeth. I love this cover as well. This pink and red is absolutely stunning. And again, this is a horror having to do with werewolves, I believe. And she is a werewolf. I don't know. I don't know a ton about it other than I've just seen good things and that it's fun. And it's like kind of a, I don't want to say lighthearted horror, but kind of a lighthearted horror. And that just sounds fun. So I picked up those, and that is my little haul. Yes, I probably could have done way more damage, but like, we're trying to be mindful of the physical books and our surroundings, and I did not want to go over the top. So that is my haul. Is currently Monday the 2nd, and I did want to give you the first reading update of this vlog. I did start the Final Gambit on Saturday, so New Year's Eve, and I am currently 207 pages in, so I have about 160 pages left. One thing that I freaking love about this series is that it reads so fast. The chapters are like a page or two or three at most, so you just feel like you're flying through it. Also, I highly appreciate the font in this book. I don't know what it is, but the font in here is like, it's just incredible. It's just like a little bit different, and it's just so easy on the eyes. You know how some fonts, they're either too small or they're just weird. This is like my ideal font. I know that's really weird, but anyways, story-wise, I'm really enjoying this, of course. I really love every book in this series. The first one is by far superior to the second, but so far I'm really engaged into this story. I do think that it is a little bit repetitive at this point, especially Avery's relationship between Grayson and Jameson. Like, and I talked about this when I was reading the second one. It's like, I know she's young, but at this point, she's about to turn 18. And like, yes, you're still a bit like boy crazy at this point, but I just find like the relationship between the three of them, like, girl, you gotta get it together. You gotta mature a little bit at some point. And like, you're with a certain someone. I'm not going to spoil it. So like, be with him and just like let the other relationship go. It's not like there is a love triangle, but there is a little bit, and it's ridiculous is what it is. So besides that, I'm really enjoying the story. This one, it's really hard to talk about this, and especially like the series, without spoiling any of the rest of the story. So I'm just gonna keep it kind of vague, but in this one, we are following Avery as she's about to turn 18, which means she needs to make some decisions about what to do with this massive inheritance and how she's going to handle it. And then a stranger shows up on the doorstep of Hawthorne House with some news that throws everyone for a loop and throws them into the game that's happening throughout this book. That's really all I can say without giving anything away to like the second book and the first book. So I'm gonna have to keep my updates for this a little bit vague, but so far, like I said, I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying the game and how it's unraveling. I'm really enjoying the dynamic between all of the family, and we're getting a little bit deeper behind the scenes of like the brothers and their relationship and why it's all so complicated, and also a bit more about the grandfather who passed away in the first one, but like behind the scenes of like, and how he got started and how his businesses unfolded and stuff like that, which I find really interesting and is also making for a very interesting story. So far I'm really enjoying it. It is a work day for me. I know a lot of people have today off, but I am working today. I'm about to hop on a meeting in a little bit, and then when I'm done with work, I'm going to film a video. I'm going to film my January TBR, which will already be up. If you haven't seen it, I will link it in the cards as well as in the description. But that's kind of my plan today. Oh, I did, exciting, get another bookshelf, which I'm gonna put against this wall here. I cleaned it out yesterday, but we're not gonna be able to put that together today. So it's the same exact one that I have on this side. I just got one for the other side of the room because I'm quickly outgrowing that one, and I would love to do, I don't know exactly how I'm gonna style it yet, but I would love to do like one shelf that has all of my series as my series collection starts to grow. So maybe do that, so have like a standalone shelf and then a series shelf. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm sure, as usual, I will rearrange my shelves like 1,000 times. It will never be set in stone, but that's kind of what I'm thinking for right now. I have all of my ACOTAR series. I have my Harry Potter series. I'm reading the Every Heart a Doorway series, which has like 11 books in it. The Veronica Speedwell series, all my other series. So I definitely am thinking maybe that, but it will be a growing project. It's definitely not going to be filled all at once, but yeah, so that'll be put together sometime during this vlog. I don't know what day I'm going to get to it, maybe tomorrow, but we'll have to see. But I'm very excited about that. And yeah, okay, back to work for me. I just got the most exciting package in the mail, and I'm gonna open it with you. I am so stoked. I did cut it open already, so it was easier to show you, but this is my Book Troop merch. Gabby came out with Book Troop merch at the end of last year, and of course I ordered it right away because, yes please, because I participated in the Book Troop all 12 months last year. I feel like I earned it, and I am so excited. Her sister Rachel designed the merch, and it is absolutely incredible. They had two options, and I went the one that just like felt more me, and I got a sweatshirt, of course, because like hoodies are life. They are life, and oh my god, I'm so excited. So I have it here. I got the gray sweatshirt because I feel like everything in my life is very neutral. And I just love gray sweatshirts. I just love them because they go with everything. But I haven't opened it up. We're gonna open it together. Oh my god, I can see a sneak peek. I'm so excited. Oh my god, it looks so good. Oh, there's a lot more brown in it than I was expecting. That's amazing. I thought the trees were gonna be all black, but they're actually like brown and gray. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Also, the design is like a good size on the sweatshirt. Sometimes like you have these things printed and it's like super small in the middle, but oh my god, I cannot wait. I'm gonna trip over my chair. Yay! I'm so excited. I didn't get it like oversized or whatever. I just got it kind of fitted because I wanted to be able to like wear it all the time. Oh my god, it's so soft. It's so soft. That fresh sweatshirt feeling. Oh yeah. I'm stoked. Yay! It's official. I'm gonna have to take some pics in this for sure. Oh my god. I'm dying. I'm dying. Also, while I'm here, I figured I would give you an update on my reading. So I finished the Final Gambit last night and I gave it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. I think it was the perfect way to wrap up this series thus far. Like I said, I don't know if the other book is a continuation. I'm gonna have to look more into it, but regardless, I loved it. What I love the most is that she took every loose thread, regardless of how small it was from the first 2 books, and tied it up into this one. There were literally no loose ends, no stone left unturned. Everything that had been happening, even the tiny minuscule things that like I didn't even realize was like a loose end, was wrapped up in this book, and I appreciate that so much. It doesn't mean it was all wrapped up in a nice little bow. Some of it was very sad, some of it was a little devastating, but it all wrapped up and I love that. I also just love where this story went. It definitely was very raw and I am in love with how it ended. That last chapter was so good. I do, however, wish that the final line was like a nod to Sherlock Holmes, because Xander mentioned something about, I think it was Xander. One of them mentions something about Avery being very like Sherlock-like during one of the scenes, and then the way she ends it, oh, would have been such an incredible opportunity to like have it be a nod to Sherlock. It wasn't a way, but I would have preferred something different, and I'm not gonna give it away. You'll just have to wait and see if you decide to read it. But that's like my nitpicky thing, is like you had an opportunity there and you didn't take it. And the other reason why this isn't a 5-star is because of the love triangle that is like still, and I call that like love triangle being like a loose term. Like she's in love with one of the brothers for sure, but then there's this other relationship that's like very deep and definitely has layers to it, and the 3 of them, like there's definitely layers to the dynamic of the 3 of them, and I just find it a little repetitive. Like, yeah, we saw it in the first one, we really saw it in the second one, and you're still talking about it and it's still not like resolved. It is one of the things that kind of gets resolved in this one, but I just found it so repetitive. I don't think it needed to like continue out throughout the entire book. Other people might disagree with me. I know people are like really do ship 2 of the people in here, but for me, I just found it a little repetitive. So that's why I didn't get a full 5 stars. But otherwise, I'm really happy that I finished off the series. I love it. I love this series. It's so fun. So if you haven't read it, definitely do so. You will not regret it. And because I finished that, that means that it is time for me to start these 750 pages of A Court of Silver Flames. I am very excited. Just books like this intimidate me so much. Like the length is just so much. Like this is 350 pages. This is double that. It just is a lot. But if I've learned anything about Sarah J. Maas's books, especially the series, is how fast they read. So I am excited to get into it, and I'm sure I'll make my way through it. I say quickly, but I mean that like quickly. I have like 5 or 6 days to read this before this vlog goes up, so that's plenty of time to get through it. I have no doubt that I will do so. And again, this one's going to be hard to kind of update you on because unless you've read the series, I definitely don't want to spoil anything, so I will try my best to loosely update you on my thoughts without giving anything away. I was spoiled a little bit with this one. Not like any major plot lines, but there's something that changes in this book that I was spoiled on, and I kind of wish that I wasn't, but so I'm not gonna do that to you. And yeah, so I'm working today, but it's Wednesday, by the way. I'm working today, and then I'm gonna start this later. I will keep you updated. I have not built my shelf yet. That will happen maybe Friday. Work's been crazy, and I haven't had time to like take the time to put this thing together because it takes like 2 hours to do so. So I'm probably gonna end up doing that end of the week, like Friday or over the weekend, where I can like enjoy it and not. I like putting together furniture. It just takes time, so I don't want to like be rushing and get frustrated. So anywho, that is a long-winded update, and I'll see you when I see you. Now Friday. I just wrapped up work for the day, and I wanted to give you an update on Silver Flames. I am currently on page 284, which puts me about 30-something% of the way through. I am listening to the audiobook as well as reading it. The audiobook was available at my library, so I figured I might as well. And where we do have a new perspective, because I tried to listen to the other audiobooks available in the other series, but they just weren't doing the voices the way that I expected them to. There was like the movie audiobooks where it's like there was a whole cast of characters and sound effects and whatever, and I just didn't think the voices matched what was in my head, so I didn't listen to them. But where we have this kind of new perspective happening in this book, I am enjoying the audiobook so far, and it's really helping this read very quickly, which I, of course, am enjoying. I mean, it's a fast read anyways for being 750 pages, and just this whole series in general is so fast-paced. Like, you just want to keep flipping and finding out what's going on as fast as possible. So I do think it's a quick read anyways, but it's helping me get it through a little bit quicker because I can listen while I'm doing other things. And so far, I mean, yeah, of course I'm loving it, obviously. I don't think I'm having as strong of feelings that I did with Wings and Ruin. I always get and Fury and Wings and Ruin mixed up, but Wings and Ruin, that one so far is my absolute favorite of the series, and this one so far is not making me feel as much as that one. I just think with the new perspective switch, it's just not hitting as hard. But some things that I will say about it so far: we got a reveal, which I was like over the moon about, so excited. Nesta is a bitch, but like, I understand where she's coming from. And like, I don't want to say her feelings are warranted, because she's definitely projecting, and like, you really need to like work on yourself before you like start lashing out and being ridiculous. But I think we're gonna kind of come full circle with her character. So right now she's just a bitch, but I'm excited to see her growth. And then everyone else, I mean, obviously, like, Cassian's a saint. I think we can all agree with that. I'm a little curious about if Tamlin is going to come back around, and if Lucien is going to like switch sides, which would just be so heartbreaking because I really did enjoy his character and I really did enjoy his relationship with Feyre, but like, I don't know. I have some feelings about that, and I could be completely wrong. And I also like where this is kind of unfolding, where we have these relics that are coming into play, and where like everything with Queen Brialyn is like gonna unfold or whatever. I don't know. There's a lot happening, and it's just a lot, but like I love it so far. So that's my very vague kind of update because I don't want to ruin anything for you. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It is bookshelf day, so I'm finally going to, you can't see it, but it's behind me, it's been sitting in the box all week. We are going to put together the bookshelf. It is rainy and disgusting out right now. It's cold, so I feel like this is like the perfect activity. I'm going to throw on something to watch at the same time. I would listen to an audiobook, but I don't know, I just kind of feel in the mood to like watch something cozy, so I might like put on Harry Potter in the other room or something. I've put together one of these shelves before. You saw it in a vlog a few months ago. The first part of it did not go well, so I'm going to hopefully not make the same mistakes again. Fingers crossed. It almost was like a catastrophe at first because I put anyway, I don't need to explain it, but fingers crossed that this actually goes way smoother. I got the drill charged, which was one thing that I thought I could do everything with a screwdriver. Absolutely not. So I have the drill charged, got a hammer, and like, let's go. It is now Saturday. It got dark fast yesterday, especially because it was rainy, so I didn't have a chance to show you how the bookshelf came out and what I decided to do with it. So I'm going to turn you around and show you. So just to give you an idea, this is one side. So that's one bookshelf. And then I have my desk and whatnot in the middle. That's a ballet bar, in case you were wondering. I use it for Pilates and bar workouts. And then this is the second one. So now I have one on each side, room to grow. So I put my Harry Potters on the top, as well as my Hunger Games series, with a little Dobby, which I got for Christmas, and then a sign that one of my friends made that says, "Happiness can be found even in the darkest of times," which is a Dumbledore quote. And then I have my A Court of Thorn and Roses series, Witch Hunt, and just a little plant. I'm still playing around with it. This is my like physical TBR shelf, so these are all the books that I physically own that I have not read yet. I decided to put them all on one shelf. They were kind of interworked into their various categories, but I decided I just wanted to have one place for them. Again, it might change, and I did Legendborn facing out because this cover was just so pretty. I want to see it. Then I have a blank one, again, room to grow. And then at the bottom, these are all like contemporary kind of books, or I have like one romance book, The Hating Game, and then a picture of my best friend and I. So I have them due for a book unhaul anyways, so those might be going depending upon how I feel, but for now they're there. So what I'm thinking for as of right now is that this will be kind of like the series shelf, minus of course that TBR shelf. So I have the Harry Potters up there and whatnot, and then as I grow, I have room to add more series. So I think that's what I'm thinking. That could end up changing. This could end up being like young adult and middle grade, and the other one being adult. I have no idea. I think right now, though, my feeling in my gut says this will be the series shelf. And this is, like I said, I mean, I don't have many complete series right now. I have the start of a few, so this will be good because I have absolute... ZD's making an appearance. ZD! I have room to grow. Just to give you a little update on this shelf, because we now have room to grow into this one as well, as you can see. So the top is like thrillers and horrors, and then we have some dark academia and just dark spines. I like having them together. And then some white and red spines, which apparently is a trend now because I have quite a few of them. And then this is the like standalone fantasy shelf. And then that's what I sit in front of when I film, so I just kind of have it set up cute. And then this one's empty. This is just for the books that I've read this month, so I can kind of keep a pile to go over before I actually shelve them. And it just feels so much better having two shelves now. I don't feel like I'm in a rush to get rid of books. I'm still unhauling books kind of casually. I have a pile going. Just if I didn't enjoy it or I don't care to keep it anymore, I keep a pile going there. But now I don't feel like I'm forced to get rid of books that like I want to keep because I don't have room. So that was really the main thing here. And also just to like, this is supposed to be for like office supplies, but I had to move books over there because I didn't have room on my shelf for like all of the Harry Potters and whatnot. So now I have just room to grow, and that really was the goal here. So I'm so happy. One day in like my dream of dreams, when we have a house, I would love to have like a third or a fourth shelf to like really grow into, but we're talking a while. Right now, we're just collecting slowly, and I'm just enjoying the process. Hi, I'm in my normal spot. You know, I do have other rooms in this apartment, but my husband is currently playing video games downstairs, so it's the easiest spot for me to film that's quiet. So, like, I don't know what to say about it. Also, wearing the merch, and it is so comfortable. I love it. Anyways, I have gotten to part 3 in A Court of Silver Flames. The book is downstairs, but I've been listening to the audiobook as well. I've been listening while reading. I think I said that already. I think I mentioned that in my last update, but so this is just how, when you know a book is so long, I'm at 71%. But I still have 7.5 hours left of this audiobook. It is 26 hours long. That is ridiculous. But like I keep saying, it's a fast-paced book. So what I will say though is I feel like not a lot is happening for being 71% of the way in. Like, don't get me wrong, some things are happening, and I get this is kind of like an arc story. We're getting some growth here. We're kind of getting into like the nitty-gritty of the reasons behind things. We're getting a little bit more history, which is very interesting. And I know that this is going to be an extremely like girl power kind of book, and I love that. We are going to get some we've had, but bad bitch energy, but like we're about to get some more bad bitch energy. At least that's my prediction. I get that, but it's weird. I don't know how to explain this other than like, obviously the book itself is fast-paced, but the plot is a little bit slow. I feel like there's not as much action happening. But I guess that's kind of the case for the rest of the series too. Like the really like action parts were like the final third of the book. So I have a feeling that these next I think it was like 250 pages is that I have left, will be pretty action-packed, especially with seeing where Nesta's at and where the rest of them are at right now. I have a feeling some shit's about to go down, which I'm obviously excited for, but I'm not as like invested in the storyline as I was the other ones. I feel like the other ones I was like, I need to know what happens right now, right away, and this one, because it's a little bit slower, I'm like, okay, I would like to get to the action now. Would like to hurry this along. I'm still very much enjoying it, don't get me wrong. I'm just kind of waiting for the next thing to happen. Also, yes, this book is extremely steamy, and like, if you know anything about my reading taste, you know that's not what I'm here for. I prefer the more battle action, the more high stakes action than I am for the steam, and this book is back to Mist and Fury steam style, and like, I'm just skimming over those parts at this point because I just don't care. I know that's such like a hot take. Everyone is like, here for the steam. I prefer my fantasies to be less steamy, so I don't know if I will read any more from Sarah J Maas because I know that this is very heavy in a lot of her series, so I think this might be where Sarah J Maas and I like part ways, but we'll see. I'm never say never. Just as I'm feeling right now, I'm like, I'm over that. I just want to get to the end and like the action, and I'm sure there's some sort of battle that's going to happen, and like, that's what I'm here for. So anyways, that's my update. I am going to read today, but I think that I'll probably wait until later. My eyes, so if you don't know, I don't know if I've talked about this before or not, but I suffer with vertigo and severe tinnitus, and tinnitus is like that extreme ringing in your ears, and mine is so loud all the time, but pair that with vertigo, and normally I have to keep my reading to like 100 pages. If I try to read more than 100 pages, I can feel my vertigo starting to kick in. It's just like the movement of the eyes back and forth that just like kicks it, jump starts it into gear basically. It's very frustrating because I know that I could read more than that, but I have to like be mindful of my body and what's going in. This is something that I've suffered with for years, and I didn't realize that it was causing a vertigo flare up until there was one day where I read like way too much in one day, and I was like, oh, put two and two together. Kind of obvious, right? You know, your eyes are darting back and forth. That's something that triggers vertigo. It should have been obvious. It was not. So now I'm more mindful, where I really only try to read like 50-page increments, or if I'm going to like sit down and have a chunk of reading, I try to cap it off at 100 pages. So I have been relying a bit more on the audiobook, but also when I listen to an audiobook too fast, that also is very triggering. So it's like a weird balance. So I think I'm just going to give myself like this afternoon to just like hang out, watch YouTube videos, and then read a bit more tonight after I've given myself time to like settle down. My goal is to finish this by tomorrow. So I still have like a good chunk of reading to do, but I'm going to keep it minimal today and then read more tomorrow. So that's my update. If any of you also suffer with vertigo or tinnitus, like around your reading, and you've found things that are helpful, please let me know in the comments. I would love that. I mean, I lead a very healthy lifestyle. This is just something that I cannot control. It is a bit out of my control. But if you found things that are helpful, definitely let me know. Yeah, that's my update. So I will see you this afternoon, or when I see ya. We did it. We did it. We did it. We did it. I finished the book. This feels like a monumental accomplishment. I know there are books out there that are way longer than this, but it still feels so good to finish a book this size, like right at the beginning of the year. I'm very proud of that. I finished this yesterday, and I just needed a little bit to sit with it before I decided on my rating. Not that my rating necessarily really matters in the scheme of the series, because I love this series and I definitely do recommend it to people who are trying to get into fantasy but want something that's not like a complicated magic system or the worlds are really hard to understand. This whole series is extremely easy to understand in my opinion, and the characters are so flushed out and so well done. So as a whole, I love the series. So I don't think my individual rating for this book really matters that much, but I am going to talk about it. So I'm going to give this 4 stars, and I feel like I'm going to ruffle some feathers with that because I know that this is most people's favorite. And I can see why. I do not disagree. We love a powerful woman story. We love to see it. We love bad bitch energy. We love to see growth. We love to see women come together and support each other. Just all around, like, that is very present in this book, and like obviously I love that. And I love the ending of this book. If there's anything Sarah J. Maas is good at, it is a good ending. But that's kind of where my bone is with this book, is that the ending is the best part. Those last 250 pages were so fast-paced, action-packed, where the heart of the story was, and I feel like it just wasn't enough. I wish that those last 250 pages and what happens there was flushed out throughout the entire book instead of getting 500 and something pages of this like growth story and kind of just slower paced plot. I get why it was necessary, but I just don't think it had to be that long. I think we could have gotten that in like the first 200 pages, then had more of this ending and what happened more fleshed out. So that's kind of where my 4 is coming from. It's not because I didn't enjoy what happened. It's not because I think the plot was bad. I just feel like there wasn't enough of like the most important part of this book, especially that ending. Now, there has been rumor and, things floating around that there is a next one coming. I don't know if that's actually going to come in fruition, but if it doesn't, this was the fastest ending and like tying up loose ends than you could ever imagine. And it left a lot of loose ends, which makes me suspect that there is a next one coming. But if there's not, there's so much left unsaid and like just not figured out. So that's kind of where I'm landing there. Like I said, I love what happens. It's not that I don't love the book. I just wish that the first 500 pages were shorter, a little bit more condensed, and then the rest of it was more fleshed out. We got more of that. And then also, you guys, I can say it 1,000 times. I don't think I need to say it a lot, but like, this book is very steamy. That's not my enjoyment out of this series. I'm not a prude, but I just don't, I'm not here for that. I'm here for the action. I'm here for the character stories. I'm here for the arcs and all of that. So, I could do with less steam, just overall. It doesn't add anything to the books for me. That's not why I read this series. So, I know other people have other opinions, and that's great. I love that. So, anyways, that's where I'm landing with this. It's going to be a 4-star. My favorite out of the series still is Wings and Ruin. I love that one so much. And like I said, if you are looking to get into a fantasy series that's not too intimidating, don't let the length of this book intimidate you or the length of the others intimidate you. First of all, there's 2 super short ones in there too, which is really helpful. The first one, so you can have an ease into it. And then there's a novella, so it's perfect. But also they read so quickly. So like, don't be intimidated by the length of them. You will fly through them. So all in all, loved it, giving it 4 stars. I cannot wait to see if there's going to be a next one or if we're just going to be left hanging. And that is it for this vlog. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me this week and helping me finish up some series. If there are any other series that you think that I would love, please leave them as a comment below. Also, I would love to know which ones you plan on reading this year, if you plan on checking out ACOTAR, the Inheritance Game series, or any others. I will also have a playlist linked down below, as well as up in the cards, of all of my other reading vlogs in case you want to check those out. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe if you are not already. Turn on the bell so you never miss a video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!
With you and I, the future is bright.